So there's been a call to unity. Now I've been thinking a little bit, brainstorming about the idea of this new party. The president proposed an idea of a new party. I heard Dan, and what Dan said was that we need the resources and the framework and the structure of the Republican Party right now. And I hear you, and I have an argument why we need that third party as well. One of the things about the third party is we divide the vote. That's an important part of it. I think we have the best chances of winning with the third party, but Dan's right. We need that infrastructure. So perhaps we can find a way to bring part of that infrastructure with candidates that come one way or another. There's got to be some type of way to figure that out before people leave the party, how to take that stuff with them. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. You know, patriots, the Patriot Party. The first thing we need to do is fucking arm up and link arm to arm and assure each other that we are there for them. They need to know that when they're in their pain place, when they're in their spot, that they're surrounded by their brothers and their sisters. And that while they may be suffering, they're not alone. No more of this loneliness shit in this country. We need to find a way to bring our people together. That's important. We need to provide support for each other. We need to provide a centralized support for each other. Centralized support. And that includes all of it. There's a president leaving the White House. You remember Douglas MacArthur when he left the Philippines? That idea. So, veteran up, you know, we got to find a way for us to stand together in the storm, weather the storm together. Bring that sense of esprit de corps. You know, it's an idea from another branch of the service. Create that type of unity. Now, I don't know what's coming, because I know that this just talk of this brainwash is happening right now. This is just stuff that's happening. It's just ideas that people are entertaining. I mean, realistically, how I look at things at this point in time is that, you know, we just have to wait and see what policy shows us, and rather than jumping to conclusions, we need to wait and see what the evidence shows us. I don't want to blame Kamala Harris. I want to see evidence about people who are involved. I don't want to be reduced to playing their game. Let's follow the evidence. Let's follow the science the whole way through this and give these motherfuckers exactly what they're looking for. And give them their medicine. My mind goes to the worst. You know, I've had the experience that I have. I've been through years and years of this type of shit. I understand the loss in a way other people don't. We can't really prevent the loss that's coming. I mean, it's important to remember that, during a lot of times in this world, people have given up everything for a new opportunity. They've given up their families. They've just given up everything and found a way. That's kind of one of the places where we're at right now. What I can say is this is the game with the brainwashing. The game with the brainwashing is always pushing on your needs. Now, a human being has a definable set of needs. They also have their insecurities, which define more needs. Now, anybody who's watching them can see all that stuff, start poking and prodding, keeping records, and then all of a sudden they got a mental record of what's going on in this person's mind, and they can start brainwashing them. Now, the trick is to just let that happen. Don't fight. I mean, the president was right when he said we got political violence is fucking straight up fucking wrong. There's paths for all of that, man. And right now, today, I'm going to call for the Patriot Party. We need an oath from everyone who's involved. No violence, man. No shaking your cocks either. That's not going to get you anywhere. The only thing anybody's going to do showing up with a gun at this point is get everybody else's guns taken away. And that's just the truth. I mean, if it were up to me, I would call for everybody to stay at home with their firearms and protect their families and their home and their core. The people who are in power right now are not going to hear your protest. They're going to use those protests against you to imprison you further and further and further. Deny them the battlefield. Deny them the battlefield with your wisdom. Beat them to the punch. As soon as you realize you're targeted, it means you're going to start losing relationships. It means you're going to start having problems. Lose your insurance, lose your mortgage, your house. All these, it's just how they push on you. They push on you with all the problems that they create. And if you get overloaded by that, then they sink you. I don't know exactly how to go about all that, and that's probably a personal choice every person's going to have to make. We're just going to have to remember that when this is over with, we're going to have to take care of the patriots who lose what they lose, and just make a commitment to our people that that's coming, that they need to know now that if they lose, that's only temporary. That's only because we're fighting a war right now. We'll be taking care of that. So we need to make a commitment to our people that we're going to be with them in the long run, and that they'll be able to do the things they can to make statements or whatever to provide them relief later on when we have power and are capable of legislating on a conscious level again. So it's important that we remain non-violent. And in the true spirit of Antifa, the people that have the power start moving and exercising it. There's a lot of wealth on the people who are being attacked right now. That wealth needs to be used. It needs to be used on the battlefield. It needs to be used by people if they want to continue to make wealth in the future. And that is just a very serious, easy to fucking see thing at this point. Armament. The party needs armament. And I'm not talking about all that. I'm talking about the things that it takes. I'm talking about apartment buildings. We need apartment, but we need shelters. We need to be able to provide safe places. Because people are going to start losing things. I mean, it could be an assault. I mean, if they're looking for hundreds of billions of dollars to turn the NSA on your people and to scrub them, kind of like all this has been happening, same kind of stuff. We got to prepare our people for that. You know, the thing is, they're going to go through that loss, and they're going to come out scarred, but they're going to be stronger, more battle ready through this process. We have to consider it being trained on the whip of the enemy. This is a battle that requires patience. It requires tolerance. It requires you seeing that what is occurring around you right now is not real. That is the state of psychological war created by the people around you. And that someday there's going to be relief and restitution for that. And we need to let the people know who are involved. No violence. That's got to be big for us. It's got to be big. And we got to present a platform that is conducive to very visible signs of hatred, racism, sexism. If our platform is centered around equality and those ideas, that's a strong, strong, strong platform. These are veterans. You got veterans, man. These are veterans. They can do this, man. They can do this. And there's only so many resources, and Congress can do everything that they can to hold up that funding, and we can do everything that we can to make moves right now on the battlefield to consolidate districts to get what we need to stop that Congress in the next 2 years. And that's part of where the transition's got to happen. You want to bring people into your party? Wait until after the midterms. Do it after the midterms. That's how you use that framework to get people in, to change this next cycle. And somebody like Dan can hit that hard. Now, but to think in the long term, we want them with us 4 years from now. And put me on a stage with Kamala. Oh yeah, I'm going to be ready for that. I'm doing what I'm doing. Moving forward with this Portland fight. That doesn't matter where I live. That's a matter of phone calls and airplanes. I like the idea of being out of jurisdiction. If I'm in some other country, I can't be set up by this bullshit. Gives me some safety to get to do the things that I need to do. I've been thinking about systems design a lot, and how to take the framework of. I want to get some people together. I'd like to get some people together and get into these systems and start looking at this from a systems design perspective, and see what I can do to use my mind to distill all that down. And see if I can come up with something good for our platform that looks right and that makes sense financially. And we're going to need economic people too, man. We're going to need to provide a huge bust. I'm talking about a lot of, a huge boom. I'm talking about a lot of infrastructure work in one way or another. We're going to have to guarantee people jobs. Because the thing is if we go further into debt, and we are going to go further into debt, the real simple answer to that, and Donald Trump will just tell you that too, is you just got to make more fucking money. You got bigger bills, make more fucking money. Figure it out. It's not that hard. From a business owner's perspective, it's not that hard. As far as the brainwashing survival guides are concerned, the reason why I said prisons are safe is because you got Red Cross. Now the people are getting their human rights violated on the streets, fucking up and down and right and left, man. You got the Red Cross, you're at least sure that, there's that at least the people who are supposed to be watching are watching. You know, you say, well, there's people trying to kill you on the street, man. You know, I mean, it's not like prisons exchange from that. One of the things maybe we ought to do is make sure we provide good security in those prisons. If they're gonna have people watching, maybe we ought to have people watching too. You know, make sure that there's no more of this bullshit with these fucking questionable things happening in prison. Why is that happening? That's protected space. It's fucking run by the American fucking people in order to rehabilitate their prisoners. That's something that we should be having our eyes pretty closely on to make sure that there's not any type of malfeasance occurring inside of those zones. You see if we can get the Red Cross involved in on that. Make this about human rights. Prisons are probably the safest place for human rights right now, and that's an important thing to remember. And there's only so much prison space. That's the thing about it. There's only so much prison space. Their game is to beat you up on the streets. And they want to keep you in the streets because they can hurt you worse on the streets than they can hurt you worse in prison. Because in prison you got all your needs met, man. You got heat, you got food. And the thing is when you're on the street, you don't have those things, and they'll play those fucking things. And beat you down and hurt, and you're just losing life as that's happening, man. All the cortisol releases happening in the body, you're just losing life. Don't lose life, man. Don't lose life. Go fucking work your groups, get together, man. Start talking to other patriots. We got to have each other's backs, man. It's an important part of all this. There's got to be that brotherhood, that esprit de corps. There's got to be that something special. And I'm not talking about slogans and, nationalist bullshit or any of that stuff. I'm just talking about us as Americans saying, hey, we got your back. We got your back. We're the other side. We're the opposition. We got your back. And if we make a strong, firm commitment to no violence, that's a real strong way to get through some. We got to get through this by taking the punches for the next 4 years, and that could hurt, man. We're gonna see what's gonna happen with all of this. We're going to see what's going to happen. It's going to be revealing. The next series of weeks, the things that happen, it's going to be revealing. And, they could be taking all of this very seriously. And it could be a fundamental shift in the landscape of America. The thing is, you have to be able to continue as opposition. So you got to beat them by being smarter, stronger, and faster, like I was talking about. That's how you win the fight. Stronger, faster, smarter. Straight up. So, I like our army. It's a good army. Strong people. They just are frustrated right now, bottled up, and they don't really have the leadership that they need in order to get through this fight. Maybe we can get some professional videos made, get that up on the website. Start giving patriots some survival guides. Explain to them the things that they need to do to build their own security immediately in order to be able to protect for themselves. And explain to them that there's going to be losses involved, and prepare themselves for that. Just prepare for that. And that loss could include your family, it could include your wife, could include your career, could include everything. It's just a matter of preparing for that. These people around you, they want your shit. Straight the fuck up. Look at this economic plan that Biden proposed. People are going to get jobs based off of race. What the fuck? No. Just no, motherfucker. Just And here's the thing about racism. When you start having any policies that put one race over the other, we can't have any policies that put any races over the other. Just fuck that. That can't be a part of the new fucking Patriot program. It's not part of being in this service any fucking ways. And we all understand that because we've been in this service as veterans, a lot of us. We understand that. They're the last fucking people in the world you should be calling goddamn white supremacists. Holy shit, are you kidding me? So we gotta neutralize that. And neutralize that by staying in front of it, by organizing, by communicating, and keeping people linked together. And we got to find a way to overcome this big tech shit that's above my pay grade. I just don't know. Maybe Dan knows a lot more about that than I do. Yeah, the best is yet to come. And I heard you say that. I know you heard me say that too. That's our little code word. Code word speeches, huh? Oh, that's funny to me. I love it. You know, transparency. That's an important part of all this. It doesn't matter who a person was yesterday. What matters is who they are today. And if people aren't transparent about who they are, they need to figure that out, because the people are going to find out every secret about you. That's part of the brainwashing, is they find out every little single thing about you, and then they push on it, push on it, push on it. You got to make good with yourself starting right now. It's like, it's kind of like John the Baptist and the whole idea of the baptism is kind of like a baptism and being a patriot. You gotta be good with all that, and you gotta be good with your secrets. Yeah, that's how you get through this. You get through this by being whole, by being psychologically whole, and that's not gonna happen if you're sitting around fat with big house, a whole bunch of kids. All of a sudden you're a target now. And you got all sorts of shit that people can start taking from you, pushing on you. If they own all the fucking money, if they own all the debit card, if they own all that shit. The games they're going to start playing with people. To me, it's just ridiculous. All of this is ridiculous. I can't even believe we're in a place where this is happening, but with the clarity that I have right now, I'm like, okay, fuck. Well, this is where we are. How do we do this on a large scale and survive? And not just that, how do we increase our tent size and come back and kick these motherfuckers' ass? How do we stop them in Congress in the next 2 years? Number one, 2 years they're going to do unlimited amounts of damage. We're going to have to stop that. How do we do that? Okay, Dan's probably got that covered. I don't know shit about it. I'm new to the game. So there's that. And then there's 4 years from now. I don't know what your idea is for me, but I'm fucking willing to do whatever it takes, man, to fucking bring down the evil empire. I'm Antifa. And this is fascism as fuck, and I can write a book about this shit easy as fuck about how the fascism elements. It's just fascism, goddammit, straight the fuck up. And there's no debating that shit. You want to get somebody to debate that? Let's get a judge to debate that. I mean, see, the thing is that controlling the perception of reality through the media, it's all propaganda, man. This is literally propaganda. So your First Amendment, they got propaganda on top of that. This is literally like a Nazi seizure. And they're going to try to call you Nazis. So you got to make sure that you're not. And you got to make sure that you're not visibly. And quick. And then you got to get those people to make that vow that they're not going to be violent, man. Get them to make that vow on the website. And then throw them out of the party. If they don't comply. And you're finding, not somebody else's. You know, we have to try to include as many people as possible right now. The thing is you're not going to start seeing any of your allies on the left until 2 years from now. When they realize it's safe to actually go out and vote for a third party candidate, when they realize it's safe 4 years from now to do that, that the power that's in charge is more than likely going to lose their control, and that they've already lost their legislative control, if they see that, that's going to position everybody well for the future. So, again, my camera is bleeping, so that's what I have for now. But I mean, I guess these are good ideas for what's coming. It's at least what I'm putting out there, um, and look forward to meeting everybody and getting together and figuring out where to go next with all this.